Hey, boys and girls, Doug Giles here. It's Warriors Rich.
Them Wildmen.
Boom.
How was my timing on that? Is it good?
Now you squeezed it out, man. Biblical Warrior Collection right there. Ugh. 70 plus paintings that you won't see at your Christian bookstore that keeps, do they still make Precious Moments figurines?
I don't even know, man.
This is a precious moment. The Trump collection. Woo, good Lord, you need it. And Rich, hang on right there, hang on. I felt moved by the gangsta Holy Ghost. Somebody needs this book called Pussification. It's 10 years old. Rich, 10 years old, man.
Wow.
And oh, so relevant. I think even more so than when it was published. So, anywho, how you doing, big dog?
I'm doing great. Did you, I was looking at your book at the cover on it. It's got one of those millennial idiot looking people on it, but yeah. Anyway, did you see the guy? Some guy wrote an article called All the Millennials Look the Same. And it was like almost that exact image. And some guy tried to sue them for using this image without his permission. Yeah. And when it came down to it, it wasn't him. Even he thought it was him. And it wasn't him.
Well, I love it. You know, what's funny about that is the actual guy. So when we were queuing up to find who's going to be our cover model, I started Googling, and I won't say what I Googled, but I kept pulling up homosexuals. It was homosexual men, and I was like, no. I don't want a homosexual guy on the cover. I want a dandy, a tinkerpot. And so I started refining my search, and then boom, this cat, he pulled up.
Perfect.
In Getty Images. And so I think we paid like $500 for the rights to publish. So we bought that. Or I sent it over to our publisher, and I was like, that's the dude, man. This is the dude. He goes, okay. And so I thought he purchased it. So fast forward, Pussification is burning up Amazon and Barnes & Noble, selling thousands of them. And this kid comes to sue me. And he actually came after us. And he was like, how dare you use my... Well, I don't think he spoke like that. He'd probably more like, you just made me sad. It was just so sad to see my image on your book. And so they sent a cease and desist, and they wanted remuneration off the royalties of the book sales and stuff. And I contacted Skip. Go, Skip, we bought that, right? He goes, yeah, we bought it. I go, send me the receipt. And it's like, no, don't send it to me. You're the publisher. You send it back to him and his lawyer. Send it back, and guess who didn't contact us any longer?
Weird.
He sold his image, man. And so, just happened.
So you put it on a book that happened to be called Pussification. He probably thought it was going to be way cooler than that, right?
Yeah, you never know, man. You never
know.
Hey, check this out. I sent this meme over to you, as you well know, because you are you. And it says, if you're between two actions to take, choose the one that's the story you'd prefer to tell for the rest of your life. Dude, is that some sweet sage advice? It's not in Proverbs. It's not in the OT or the New Teen, but it's muy biblical, big dog, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, when I saw that, I must confess, sometimes the things that I say and do are because I want to say that I said that, or I want to say that I did that. Like sometimes somebody will pop off on social media, and when they do, I think, I don't really care. And then I think, oh no, I'm going to say this because it's going to be cool. And I say things that are completely outrageous sometimes because I want to say that I said it. And I enjoy that. I like it. It's a good way to live.
Yeah, when I was, when I first got married, Mary Margaret and I had a big decision. And, it was like the whole Robert Frost, two different paths, fork in the road. It wasn't like we're facing any kind of evil thing or big crisis. It was a big decision. And I came up to my brother-in-law, man. It's like, you know what? I've been scratching the back of my head bald about, some of the things that Mary Margaret and I should do or pursue. So you got any advice for me? And he didn't even blink. He said, what I do when I'm facing big decisions is I fast forward to the grave. And upon expiration, I look back and I ask myself, are you regretful you didn't go for
Yeah.
Y and Z? And I was like, that's a freaking great way of looking at, decisions. What's the story? What do you want to look like at the end? What do you want to have accomplished when you take the big dirt nap and stuff, and then kind of walk backwards and decide, from that
Yeah.
vantage. And I'll tell you what, it can propel you into godly stuff, and it can keep you out of wicked crap if you're
Yeah.
concerned about the story that you want told, at this end of the thing that we call a life.
Well, it's interesting because I use a not so awesome and not so dramatic version of that pretty regularly. Like when you said, "Hey, do you want to come hunting with us over here?" and Cal was going to go, you said, "Bring Cal." Well, I was busy. I had a lot of things to do. So this is what I do with decisions like that. I mean, even a concert or a dinner or going out with some friends, anything. I literally think, when this is over, will I wish I had done it, or will I wish that I had not done it? And that, I'm not even talking about it in a spiritual way. Will I wish I have gone and did that? Am I going to be sorry I didn't do it? Am I feeling bad because other people want me to go? And so when I thought about that, when you asked us to go hunting, I thought about it and I thought, no, when this is over, I'll have wished that I went. I'm going. And so I make decisions like that. Then I make sacrifices and figure out what I need to do to make it happen. And then in the end, you live a life that's full of adventure. It's epic. Cave diving. Why are you going to go cave diving? Well, when I'm dead, I want people to say, that guy was a cave diver, and have people go, whoa, that's crazy. That's beside the fact that I love diving and I love cave diving. But I'm just saying, those are things. How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a person that was always too busy, didn't have enough money? I'm sitting on the couch. My butt is shaped like the couch. The couch is shaped like my butt. My hand is shaped like it's always holding a bag of chips. Or do you want to be a person that gets it on, right, bro? Me and Annie rode our motorcycle. We rode our motorcycle to Sturgis, spent 10 days there and rode back. It was like 3,200 miles. Just me, her, and the bike, bro. And you know what? It was an epic. When I say epic, it was an epic adventure. Not just Sturgis, but riding all the way up there. And we loved it so much, we're going to do it again because it was awesome. I don't want to live my life and have somebody read. I'm going to say this and just let you go. This is one of my things here that I don't want. Here's your biography of your life. Woke up, ate breakfast, went to work, came home, ate dinner, watched TV, went to bed. And you turn the page that says repeat, 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 repeat. Just don't, you're just wasting air. You're just wasting oxygen. Like, I can't get with that.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And God's called us to live bold, wild, and free, and not scared, mild, and enslaved. And
Yeah.
but in regards to the getting written up at the end, like how did what's the last part of that? Choose the story that you'd prefer to tell the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So not only is it just the adventure aspect, which is cool, which got a room full of it right here, and plenty of epic stories to tell. But just in regards to right or wrong, so it's not so much, doing the Mach 2 hair on fire adrenaline type stuff. It's like, what do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to be remembered for the one who stood for truth? Do you want to be remembered as the coward who folded to peer pressure? Do you want to be, the political correct step and fetch, I'll obey Fauci? Do you want to be beholden to evil people with money who want you to do, bad stuff? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want the
Yeah.
kids to say, you know what? Man, mom and dad, when they were going through just this epic trial or epic temptation, they didn't fold up like a cheap lawn chair. They stood their ground. They were in the valley of Elah. They confronted the monster. So, I mean, you think of, and I don't know if you've been watching The House of David. That's fascinating. They really did.
I'm going to watch it. Somebody was telling me about it today.
They did a decent job. I mean, you're going to be watching. It's like that's not in the Bible. So there's some of that, but man, from a production standpoint. But again, you got David's brothers. You got Saul. You got Nathan. I mean, all these guys are there in the valley of Elah.
Yeah.
And the story that they get to tell, or gets told about them, is that they were a wuss. They stood there.
They were afraid.
They didn't go in the valley. And again, David has. So aside from, go for it, have fun, milk this existence, embrace, an Epicurean Christian existence, obviously, where Christ is in governance of our enjoyment of all the wonderful things this world has to offer, but principally from a character, integrity, Christ-like standpoint, man, fall on the right side of the right decision. I don't care if it costs you in the here and now, because the story that will come out later, because it's going to come out, it's going to be a good one to tell instead of a sordid one,
A sad one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and interesting about David, David was working. He was doing what his dad told him to do. And then his dad said, I have an errand for you to run. David was not doing these wonderful, great things. Hey, do this. Okay. Go take care of sheep. Got it. I need you to go deliver this to your brothers. Okay. He's literally a delivery guy. He goes over there and he says, how come nobody's fighting Goliath? And his brothers get mad because they're being confronted on their cowardice, on their being wise and being safe. You got to think about the bigger picture and all that kind of crappy talk, right? And David says, well, what does the guy get who kills this dude? And now they're really mad because they know he's thinking about it. And the interesting thing is the army, they were there. They were all dressed up, dressed for war, singing war songs.
They were, literally. They were singing.
Singing war songs, and nobody's in battle. Right. They're dressed up for battle, singing war songs, not in war. And then a kid who's not dressed for battle shows up and says, how come no one's fighting? And they say, you get out of here, you don't understand. And then, oh, you're going to go to war, Saul. Here's my stuff. No, I don't want to do it the way you're not doing it. Try not to teach me the way to not do it. Because this fight is your fight, Saul. You're bigger than everybody else. You're a warrior. This is actually your battle to win. But you're a clown and a coward. So God's going to use a small, young man in your place and show that God's favor is on him. And I love what David says. He says, this is it, Doug. You ready for the clincher? Is there not a cause? Come on, bro. Too many people are living their life. There's a cause. Too many people are living their life being safe, dressed up like we're going to do this and that. No, man, get it on. There is a cause. The cause is good versus evil, the gospel against darkness. Let's go.
What's funny is that I believe "Is There Not a Cause" is only in the King James Version. It's like all the other versions.
Best.
We got to remove that because, that's putting pressure on us to act and to obey, And
and when you look at the story, 100% it's in line with everything David was saying, which was conviction and pressure, right?
Ian, think about this. In this short podcast, how was David? What was the story told about David at the end? Well,
let's go.
The Holy Spirit said of David that he served his generation in Acts 13, and he went to sleep to be with his fathers. Didn't mention anything about his adultery. Didn't mention anything about his co-conspiracy to have Uriah murdered. What it said of that man, the story that was told of David when the fat lady sang is that king served the purposes of God. So
I love that, man. That's so good.
Yeah, and look at the action that he chose. It's like, if I choose this, I could very well die, or you could very well live.
Right. Exactly.
It could be a great tale, man. So, Rich, aside from telling people if they're between two actions to take, choose the one that's the story you'd prefer to tell for the rest of their life, what else, brother? I said, what else should the Warrior and Wildmen listener do?
Well, here's a quote. In his strength, this is Joan of Arc. How old was Joan of Arc?
Did you know that Joan of Arc was Noah's wife? I had no idea. Man.
Get out of here. How old was Joan of Arc? 14 or something, right?
Yeah.
Here's a quote from Joan of Arc, leading armies into battle as a young woman. She said, in his strength, talking about God, in his strength, I will dare and dare and dare until I die. Look, man, other people could say that. But when you're leading armies into battle as a 14-year-old girl and you say that, bro, we better get fired up.
I'm fired up, man.
Go to warriorsandwildmen.com, subscribe, it's free. We'll send you a couple of emails, let you know what's happening. Keep posted. Help us, Jesus. And if you're getting something good from the podcast, go to the War Chest. Send your gift. It's tax deductible. And when you send it, we'll send you the information on that. For those that are doing it, man, dare and dare and dare till you die. Let's go. Warriors and Wildmen out.